For 104 km, I completed Project 1 and Project 2 in my A-level learning sessions. Now I have found that the projects I have completed would help me in my career and in my future aspirations, as well as having some interesting facts and interesting points that I have also learnt. For Project 1, as we can see here, I created a PowerPoint. Here I talk about how Gantt and Microsoft Office project work. These are going to, for me to know how they work, what their limitations are, what their functionalities are, and which one's better for a different purpose, will help me in my career when it comes to making a Gantt chart, or when it comes to making a project. I will immediately know that this is the better option, this is what I can do with it, the limitations on this won't affect me. It will help me in my career with making decisions on what kind of software to use. I've also found out many interesting facts about how Gantt charts can produce charts that, show how forecasts will work out even in the future, and what can go wrong, and how the budget can be spent. And this is really interesting to know without actually completing the project, or know how much it's roughly going to cost. Now in Project 2 I've done something a little different, and I created a UML modeling diagram for Booker Academia Online. Here I learnt how to produce a case tool diagram for an online website, so how the customer is involved with each individual part of the website, and how the banks come in, how delivery department come in. This is very interesting, and it will help me in my career for when it comes for me to producing a case diagram. I know exactly how to do it, and I can say, look, I've done it before. I will put it all into a nice template, design it and produce it, and this is very useful for me in the future in my career, as well as be me doing the descriptions for each case diagram. I have learned what every single one does, what their actors are, what their conditions are, how the flow of events go, and how it can be done differently with alternative scenarios. And I know how to now complete a documentation for the case tool diagram I use, which is very interesting. Another interesting point is how I can use the case diagram I created to produce a class diagram. How I can shrink and expand what I've created into a class diagram, where it shows what the items can do, what the objects are, what the attributes are, what kind of a class it is, and what is needed. Now this is really important in the future. If I am to be designing a website, if I am to be designing a program to do produce such a task, I will have the knowledge and the skills needed for me to, in my career, put this into effect and create an efficient software. And I also find it how interesting how I can go from one case diagram to a case tool to a class diagram. The way by using the two can make a great software and make it run and work properly.